Hey everyone, it's Sinkiller and welcome back to our channel. Today we're diving into the universe of Bethesda's Starfield, a title that's been a blockbuster in sales hits, providing a much needed uplift after the Fallout 76 rocky and kind of disastrous journey. Despite its initial success, it's no secret that Starfield has faced its fair amount of share of challenges. As we've journeyed deeper into the galaxy, we've uncovered more and more issues, which are kind of custom or expected in Bethesda's AAA RPG titles, but Starfield has been a bit more of an exception, as broken down and in need of serious repairs. But hold on to your space helmet, because Bethesda's are charting a new course for Starfield in 2024. They've been busy laying down some impressive plans for enhancements and updates, and the outlook is looking brighter for Starfield's future. In this video, we're going to unpack all the latest news about these updates. Expect to hear about optimization, bug fixes, new possible exploration vehicles or methods, detailed local city maps, and so much more. The journey ahead is vast, but the dedication from the development team to incorporate the community's feedback is a beacon of hope for Starfield's future. So, fellow space explorers, as one of the last 10 players in Starfield, we've got a galaxy of information to cover today. Make sure to use the video chapters for easy navigation, just like quick traveling in Starfield. Let's strap in and launch into all things Starfield. Okay, so the major update has been revealed in some high-level detail. Let's crash right into the latest from Starfield team at Bethesda, which I'll note communication from Bethesda has been improving. They've given us a sneak peek into the new features they're crafting, set to enhance the game early next year with a regular 6-week release schedule, with each release being dropped into the Steam beta, allowing for all of us to test and to see if all the issues have been fixed or if they've broken something else, just like that disappearing ground some players experienced. This is a huge and important step. I really like the way they're doing this. It gives us a chance to test and find out what's going wrong, as well as give modders a head start in updating their delicious spicy mods. This lays out a consistent plan for the implementation of fixes for Starfield, which is really nice to see. Finally, consistency. One of the key focuses has been addressing the immense feedback on gameplay, particularly around the movement, the need for a huge change in traversal in Starfield and ground movement, a harder difficulty, and a resolution to the pesky interface issues, to name some of them. Bethesda has recently shared some insight on Reddit, giving us a comprehensive look at their roadmap. It's clear they're tackling these critiques head on, which is a promising sign in order to establish a future for Starfield, which would finally not revolve around people just pooping all over it constantly. So the team at Bethesda commented on the official Starfield subreddit and released an update on their official website as well. They start by expressing their gratitude for the community. Yes, I'm still, thank you. I know I'm still here. They input and detailed their recent small updates. The small update, this was mainly about the much requested but terribly sad to see leave pet asteroid. I did a small poll on my channel and I got 400 votes, which left a 50-50 standstill on whether or not losing the pet rock is good or bad, as the running joke would be that the pet rock was the best companion in the game because it was the quietest. They also fixed an Xbox memory leak issue, which I've seen many players comment that they no longer getting regular crashes, but however, unfortunately, this does not fix the deeper rooted issue of the dynamic form ID, which really does pose a big problem long term for the overall stability of Starfield, but we won't go into that. If you want to learn more about that, I'll leave a link in the description. Luckily, that last small update has been released before Christmas, which should definitely help provide some Xbox users with a better experience. However, to summarize Bethesda's latest update, they've been diligently fixing various issues we've been highlighting, and they're preparing a significant, much larger update early next year. Keep in mind that there's been reports that 200 devs have been working on Starfield, and they'd be spread across different areas, working on shattered space expansion, as well as new features and bug fixing. However, this update promises a slew of in-progress quest fixes, which is by far one of the most painful things I see players comment on and experience within the game. Not being able to finish one of the main quests to finish the game is game breaking. Those are going to be fixed. Bethesda are completely redesigning the quest and event systems. And not only that, alongside they're introducing FSR 3 for AMD users and XeSS for Intel Arc users, which XE just referring to Intel's super sampling tech that enables high performance and high fidelity visuals. So Intel users are going to get a boost. But then they go on to really highlight what we've been wanting and definitely some features requested. Bethesda is working on a plethora of these new features based on players' request. We're talking city maps, mod support, expanding on ship customization with ship decorations, new shipbuilding options, and innovative travel methods. They also mentioned their commitment to smaller interim fixes whenever feasible and safe, emphasizing their thorough testing process for even minor changes in the game of Starfield, which has such a massive scale. The closing remarks were on an open invitation reputation for continued feedback and encouraging players to keep sharing thoughts on Reddit and on Discord, which no doubt they will. So Space Adventurers, this is a huge leap for Starfield. Frequent updates, major enhancements, and a team that is likely listening to its player base. We have to stick around as we delve deeper into each of these upcoming features. A key update that's caught a lot of attention is a promise to fix a notorious empty ship glitch or bug. This is an absolute plague affecting the vast majority of players, including myself, on every playthrough. If you're not familiar with this issue, it just basically makes all the ships in the game empty, devoid of life and NPCs. However, PC players have been able to fix this issue, whereas Xbox players have been shoved to the side as they can't access console commands, but it's very reassuring to see Bethesda addressing it finally. Now, for the ultra-wide display enthusiasts out there, get ready for some great news. Bethesda is bringing support to all you 32 by 9 inch widescreen displays gamers. Starfield visuals on an ultra-wide monitor will be nothing short of a spectacle, and this upgrade is definitely set to elevate the experience even further, but I do have my doubts on this. Don't know how good performance or FPS will be, however, it will probably look absolutely incredible. Another significant fix on the horizon that's worth mentioning is the glitch Made Divine, who seems to freeze up during her introduction. This bug has been a major barrier for those seeking to get all the achievements completed and finish the game. But for me personally, the most exciting part of this update is the expanding on ship customization, along with ship decorations, new building options, and then of course, innovative travel methods. We all know one of the strongest aspects of Starfield, and where the majority of players spend their time, is on shipbuilding. So enhancing this functionality is huge for the community and something very worthwhile investing in. Mods have really led the way here with what is possible, and Bethesda have listened. I'm expecting a huge leap forward here in the base game and giving a lot of the features that we find on PC, like building inside ships, to make its way home for everyone. I'm also expecting that we're going to get a lot of new ship parts, components. They may try to address some of the issues with configuring your interior habs and how it all fits together, because some work definitely needs to be done there. However, regarding the so-called innovative or new traveling methods, I'm very skeptical here, as I don't see how a vehicle can be introduced given the extreme contrast in the environments in Starfield. Unless it's a small hovercraft, I just don't know how it will be done. I won't speculate this, but I do caution on what our expectations are. It could be as simple as getting a better jetpack, or maybe better, it might be being able to travel to a planet within the same system, or even a fuel system that's already kind of in the game but half finished. So for all 10 of us Starfield fans out there, these updates are a beacon of hope. Bethesda is not just listening, but actively responding to our needs. We're going to have to stay tuned as we continue to track these exciting developments, but we're going to be steering into the turbulent zone of Starfield's user reviews, a topic that has been increasingly heated, and understandably so. When Starfield first launched, the game was met with a huge wave of positivity. We were all cheering for it. Bethesda seemed to have struck a goldmine in terms of sales and player engagement. Possibilities were endless. Sure, the game wasn't perfect at launch, but many of us were more than willing to overlook its flaws, captivated by its expansive, engaging, cool gameplay. But as time progressed, some of these flaws became harder to ignore, not to mention the bugs and the events being broken. And then on top of that, Bethesda measured pace in actually releasing patches and communicating with us had not been smooth at all. Now, if we look at Steam, the recent reviews show only a 55% positive rating, while the Metacritic users score for the Xbox version hover around 7 out of 10, which actually makes a lot of sense. I think Starfield is actually more enjoyable on Xbox, as you're less likely to exploit the game, but that will be very debatable depending on your perspective. The narrative surrounding Starfield is, to put mildly, completely polarized at the moment. The game has its merits, but it's clear that it's in need of some fine-tuning. A significant factor contributing to this divide, in my opinion, is the mismatch between the expectations and reality. Many gamers anticipated a return to the old-school Bethesda RPG vibes, akin to Oblivion. This isn't to say the game's approach is inherently flawed, but it certainly led to a lot of disconnect or a proportion of the gamers. Adding to this drama, Bethesda recently found themselves in hot water over their responses to Starfield criticism on Steam. This approach, perceived by some as confrontational, didn't sit well with part of the community. For instance, their stance that the dullness of some planets was intentional, and then advising players to simply create a new character and explore different leveling paths, struck many as dismissive and divisive, basically nuking themselves. For me, I think we forget how complicated a game like Starfield is to make, and then working on it for so long with the complexity complexities and interpersonal issues that are bountiful in a project like Starfield. Personally, my experience leaves me in awe of something this huge, but I also understand the commentary from so many prevalent gamers and commentators. The game does need a bit of spice and a little bit of this, a bit of love. I also believe that Starfield really needed another 6 months or a year to really flesh out some of the features that I've covered in my channel that are clearly meant to be in the game but are left unfinished, and then modders have added back, just sometimes by flicking things on and off almost. Things like building your own space station or building a giant Class M spaceship are just to name a few of the things left out in the game. So with all that in mind, the criticism is pretty much rightly placed. I don't argue with that, but having set up such high expectation, maybe some of the issue is on the player side as well, because we did build this up to be bigger than Ben-Hur. But then again, if you jumped into Starfield and couldn't finish it due to game-breaking bugs, then I'd be bloody pissed as well. So I believe this is going to be continuing to be a very controversial topic in Starfield until we probably get Creation Kit and there's a bit more light at the end of the tunnel. But that's all coming soon. As we continue navigating these choppy waters, it's important to keep an open mind about both the game's potential and the feedback from its community. Let's hope for a smoother sailing ahead as Bethesda works on addressing these issues. Some initial hiccups with Starfield were somewhat expected, but however, with the backing of Microsoft and some of their veteran status in the industry, these issues shouldn't be excused. It's encouraging to see them actively incorporate community feedback, especially given concerns that they might leave the game for modders to fix. While the modding community has done wonders for Starfield, as we've covered lots on the channel, it's not a substitute for the official updates and enhancement that we need from Bethesda themselves. But it does seem there's a bit more commitment from Bethesda shown in addressing these issues, and it's looking promising. It could also help set up a hopeful precedent for the upcoming Elder Scrolls 6, which I know a lot of people are in doubt about now since Starfield. But with so many new features just around the corner, I for one am very hopeful for Starfield, and I think you will be too, and I ultimately believe a lot of people are going to be shocked and in awe of what it becomes. But let me know what you think. Do you think this approach is good? Are you looking forward to the changes coming to Starfield? Will you even keep playing Starfield, or have you stopped? Would you come back? For me personally, one thing I'd like them to do is to really enhance the outpost building, but I'm sure that's on their list and coming soon. But with all that said, thanks very much. Appreciate your time. Peace out.